Okay, are you ready? The
Okay.
makeup department got some powder in his eyes today. I am the makeup department. Okay, so our topic for today is managing me, managing ourselves. Seemingly would be something easy, but I don't think it is.
What do you think? What do you think? What do you think managing me means to you? For you? What
For
would you
me,
say?
I think that like you have to manage yourself at all times. So you have to control. Not like have this like hard control over yourself, but you gotta manage your reactions. You gotta act like civilized firstly, but you also have to look inwards and see: am I the problem? Like, what is it about me in this situation? It also comes from like learning you, because we don't really know how.
And I think it's a very good topic for younger people in the 20s, even early 30s, managing oneself. You know, one of the things, I'll give you an insight. You have been asked to be one. You've been only asked to be this. You are not allowed to acknowledge the contradiction in you. Follow. You are this and this too. You like working out. There are also days you don't like working out. You are also an introvert, and sometimes you are an extrovert. So managing you comes because you were told to be one. You were told to be consistent. It's like this. I give you parents' view. I will look at you as my daughter, as that cute little girl that I played with, hugged, and I would not want to recognize there is duality in you. There is other faculty. I'm only looking at the child, but I also know you're a young lady, you are this, you are that. So could I say the very question arised managing me because you were asked to be singular, you were not allowed to acknowledge your contradiction. So managing me, could it be me managing my own contradiction? There are days I feel like this is the best thing I'm doing. There are days I wake up and I say, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
There are days I want to meet somebody and there are days I don't want to see somebody at all.
Yeah.
It's a big contradiction. And the day if I don't want to see somebody, if somebody shows up, I have to manage that. So could it be the very notion of managing me is we have to manage a lie? That I'm only this.
Maybe a lie is like a harsh word, lah, but like a blindness, maybe.
No, it's a lie because people are telling you only to be this. If you're a happy person, I see you unhappy, I ask what's wrong. If I see you unhappy, I know you're an unhappy person. I see you happy, I say what happened. So there is an expectation as though we are one. We don't get it that there is many faculty. At least to the earth we ask, is it daytime, afternoon, evening? I always see this, when people make a phone call, at least I do, I will always ask, can we talk? Is it a good time to talk? Not that I call many people, but whomever close that I call, I'll say, are you in the place? Can we talk now? Or should I call back? Because I don't know what they are doing. Like most often, if you see when people pick up a phone and they call, they straight start talking, they don't know what I'm doing. In their mind, they are not acknowledging the multifaceted state you and I are in. So hear me very carefully. You don't have to be one. You can be a living contradiction. You don't have to be one. I heard this and it liberated me. I don't know how far the story is true, but it was so liberating for me when I was young. I heard once about J. Krishnamurti. J. Krishnamurti is this proper, one of my teachers. He's a enlightened master. He's a beautiful human being. And it's like sitting together and he's very proper. And one day I heard from someone who's close to him that when he was buying a tie, he almost ransacked the whole shop. He kept throwing, no, no, no. And I'm like, what did he do? That he was so
Difficult.
and I went like, yes. Because up to that point, I was trying to maintain this whole idea of being one, centered, what do you call that?
Unwavering.
Unwavering. I'm consistent. You know what I mean? And And when I heard that, I remember hearing that, I went, thank you. And I tell you, one of the days when Appa's greatest awakening happened was not immediately, but before that happened, I hear him talking and he was whacking a fly that was hitting on his nose. He was all over the place, like, and then he was talking. And I went like, thank you. Because I am a contradiction.
Yeah.
I am this, I am that. I am all kinds of things, but I am a contradiction.
Yeah.
Okay, follow. Hang on. Another time I saw Osho and he was under duress. They were, I think, harassing him. He was leaving America. He was in the airport. And he's always very like, with his long beard.
Silent.
And steady. And he lost it with one guy. I went like, yes, that's my guy. Because as much as I can be, I don't know, calm or quiet, I can lose it too. Now, what did that translate to me? Oh, I can be more than just one. Follow? So you can. And I think a lot of pain you are feeling because you want to be one. You can also say, I don't feel like it today.
Yeah.
And you don't have to apologize. It's the flux. It's the duality. But now, follow. I think people make us one. Anba is just that. Easy for us, you know. We label Anba one person and then we just say, oh, that's Anba. It is an abuse. There must be so much going on inside of him. So can I say the world abuses by stereotype? Is that the word?
Yeah, stereotyping.
Stereotyping or create a caricature and make us just this. By that, they deny the complexity of us. Now here, let me go on with this and with the young people. Become contradictive.
You know what Cher said?
Who Cher? Ah, yeah.
Cher?
Okay. Yeah.
She was like, you can be a spiritual person and still shop at Prada.
Agreed. But use your own money, not your dad's money. I'll add with that, sure. But this way, listen to me. I never say to people, listen to me. But I say, listen to me in this. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, the only thing I never had contradiction is when I met your mom. I never had a moment I feel like being with her or not being with her. I never had that with your mom. With your mom, this is it. So now listen to this. Only when you acknowledge the duality, you might find what you are, which is not true. Right? Like doing this work or what I did. I've had moments, why am I doing this? People are difficult or people might not be interested in what I'm doing. I've had that outward reaction, but inwardly I've never had a moment. This is what I want to do. So if I don't acknowledge my duality, then I spend my life managing this lie. I'm neither this nor that. By that, I won't discover my singularity. I never had a moment I ever felt like don't want to be a dad. No. There was never a contrary, oh, I need a break from being a dad. No. I never had one moment. I loved it. And it is not something I did. It's something I discovered. I love being a father. I like. I'm a father. Like, you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now can I say this? The idea of managing me is I need to put on this lie for the world. One, right? Another thing. Managing me also means I have flux. So I don't let my flux become a schizophrenic state. That I don't cancel myself, you know what I mean? Like I need to go to the gym. Some days I feel like it, some days I don't feel like it, but I manage it. So I don't become a victim. But the idea of managing the dualities, I find my singularity. That which I find myself consistent. Like when I was learning this, I studied psychology, I studied therapy, I went into training programs, performance. I did 170, your mother once listed, 178 different kind of disciplines, you know, like from body language to NLP to primal therapy, and I did the whole thing. But when I touched this truth of meditation, enlightenment, awakening, I have never found a day that I don't want to do it. I kept, even though there are times I left, like a couple of weeks, I don't want to touch this, but I come back to it. Then I found out, oh my God, that's me. So can I say the non-two is the real me, But in order to access the real me, I must accept my contradiction. Follow?
So when you say, you refer to like, when you accept your duality, you find your singularity. Could it be like, this is a really stupid example, okay? It's
All
like,
of your examples are, but go
whatever. Okay? Well, I quit. I quit.
No, don't quit. You're the smartest girl in town. Smartest one.
It's like, my weight fluctuates, but I'm always gorgeous.
You are?
Could that be like, I accept that I'm bigger and smaller, bigger and smaller, bigger and smaller.
No,
but I'm
I don't
staying
think so.
same.
I think there's something you have to manage in that. Bigger and smaller, something to do with metabolic, something. Then you have to find. And that's management. I lose weight, then I put on weight, I lose weight. Then there's something, you have to manage this. You are not to give in to just going big and small. I don't think that's healthy. So is there a quality to management? Yes. You understand? Like I feel like going to the gym 3 months, then I don't feel like going to the gym another 3 months, let's say. I get to manage that because then I don't get the result I want. But the management I am denying is making you a lie.
How would that work?
You see, when you pretend to be one when you are not. You follow?
Somewhat. Like if I had to say like, no, I actually have this perfect fitness routine. I go always 3 to 4 times a week for the past 5 years, but that's not true.
Yeah. No, I think I don't want to do the damage that has been done to you by other people. First, we accept that we have duality. We don't lie about it. We have mood swings, we have cycles, we have all of that, okay? We accept. We wear it. We don't let somebody make us singular and make us pretend to be singular. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You don't have to be only this. You don't have to be. Because being this is you are denying the duality. So I accept I'm dual. Then I manage the duality. In there, hopefully I find what is that I'm consistent about. Right? Like if it's fluctuating, you have to talk to the people who know about this better. There's something up, something with your metabolic, something with your diet, then that you have to manage. Like I have a bit of blood sugar condition. I have to manage. There's nothing else I can do about it. Manage.
No, but what I'm saying is more like I think of myself as a healthy person that usually eats healthy, exercise a certain number of days a week and all of that. But once in a while, I just want to eat whatever junk food.
It's a cheat day.
Yeah.
Which means you acknowledge that part. Very good. So I'm saying management means acknowledging the other part too. Like I know some people who are very caring people, but after some time they learn, after 6 o'clock they're off their phone. No messages, they don't want to talk to anybody. Is that a contradiction? Are they becoming somebody uncaring? No. They are managing the state of care. Like Paul's PAT is amazing, because at the end of the day, when you get your personality resolved, when you understand you manage you. Again, manage you doesn't mean you are managed by the world. You are allowed to have contradiction. You can go to study, do university work, and one day you get up and you say, no, I don't want to do this. I want to go home. You're allowed. You're not to get depressed on all that. Like Aishi, I keep telling her, you can quit anytime.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if she's going to watch this, but I always felt that for Aishi, whenever she was feeling depressed is when she couldn't accept a contradiction within herself.
Very good. But as a dad...
obviously, we can see it because we're not her.
I'm only telling her, quit. She's not going to quit. But I am preparing the ground to say, it's okay. It's like this, Ma. Listen to this. This change our past life. I was one day on the 21th floor, I think, and I was 23 years old, and I was listening to this talk by Osho. Listening or reading, I don't know. And he said as much as you have the right to succeed, you have the right to fail. I went like, what? Just a simple statement. As much as you have the right to succeed and to be great in the world, you also have the right to be a nobody. I'm telling you, I felt like the angels were singing in my head. I was like, what? I can drop out? And suddenly, you know what happened to me? The stress of just being to being driven, I was very driven, was released. Oh, I can be a nobody too. If I'm not interested in money, if I'm not interested in success, And let's say I force myself to be interested, I'm going to hurt myself, right? So now, what is managing yourself? First, loving you as you are. It's okay.
So would you say that like the reason, like if I think about myself, when I came back from London last year in October, I went to London for a month and I came back, and for the longest I lived in Malaysia for 7 years, I was like, I'm not gonna leave. I love living here, and this is like my half my identity is that like, yeah, I left New York. I lived in New York for 3 years. Everybody was like, why are you leaving New York? And I was like, no, I love Malaysia. I love living here. I don't really see myself ever living anywhere else. I see myself being here with my friends. I was like, I could never see myself even dating a non-Malaysian guy. All of these like just in
Me
this.
too. I can't date a non-Malaysian guy.
Fair enough. They just don't get it. And then suddenly when I went to London and came back, I was like, oh my God, wait, this identity that I thought was me, it's not me, and I couldn't accept it, and I felt so depressed at that time. And then when I was like, no, you know what, I think I'm gonna move.
Allow. That's what awakening is. Allow. Allow yourself to contradict. Allow yourself to wake up one day and say, maybe not. Give yourself that freedom. You are not giving yourself that freedom, and people force themselves, right? People force themselves, and that forcing one day chokes them to death. So first, embrace the duality. There's a formula Osho used to say, from two, you come to one. From one, you go to none. Two means I'm this duality, this left brain, right brain, four, and I have to live that duality. From there, I suddenly discover I'm not two. There's some things I'm not two. And from that not two, you say attain to enlightenment, which is the end of the self. But this, we're not talking about that. So now, do you have the freedom to contradict yourself? Do you have the freedom to wake up tomorrow and say, no?
I mean, I feel like for me, I'm like a very like chill, sort of like whatever kind of like kind of person that I'm not so like so tied to any identity. But you know, there are some people that are really tied to their
No.
identity.
So far. Let's say if you discovered you're tied up to an identity, can you wake up to it? Or this has become the identity that prevents you from discovering that? I'm saying you are not yet.
Yeah.
You are finding your way. So give yourself the space to find you.
So how do I manage myself to hold that space?
Functionality. This is the easiest part. Just to function in the world. Just to function, just to get along with the society. What is this society? Something real? No, something functional. What is this society? It's a group of people getting together with agreed with some rules and norm, and we are living together hopefully in harmony. That's what society is. That's all. Anybody gives a damn about you? Maybe a few. But it's just a society. It's just we are co-living. We don't even know most people. So what is management? The least you can do to kind of govern you rightly. So should you learn to manage you? Of course. You get along. You kind of find the local norm and participate with it, right? But that's not what the word management of self means. Is you have to choke you to be one person. Right? Choke you to be one person. And then you are torturing you. Then you are living out an idea.
Like people who are like almost rooted in the identity that they're like unhappy. And then they just like can't be happy. And they continue to make choices to justify
You see,
that.
most often what happens is you are not allowed to contradict. That's why I said someone must remain a child for longer periods of time. You know why? A child can switch. A child can like this, can like that. A child can play with a toy and drop it and just turn and do something else. A child is not formed yet. And that formation takes time. I think your mind that says who you are most often is not true.
What if I like that? Like I like being a little in my own bubble, my own happy bubble, doing my own thing. Like I like that. I like that about me. I don't really want that to change. Like
I don't know whether you have the choice. I can like a lot of things. I like sweet stuff, but sometimes.
But no, that's different. Like for me, the thing I like a lot about myself is if like we go to, just say we go somewhere with my friends, I'm like looking here, I'm like so happy, I'm enjoying something. Like, did you see that? Did you see this person looking at us? I'll be like, no, I was having fun. I didn't notice any of that. And I really like these qualities about myself. Somebody else might like different things about themselves. It'll be very hard for me to one day feel like I'm losing that and I'm changing.
No, then you have to manage it. You see, that quality is a wonderful quality, but also comes with a liability.
Yeah.
You are not paying attention. You are not really looking at what is going on too.
I don't want to know, honestly.
I know. You don't want to know. I don't care. You do whatever you do. I do whatever I do. It's all good. But it's like driving on the road. Some people drive like fast, some people drive slow. But when you're driving slow, so you must keep an eye. The other guy might be honking.
Yeah.
So you can be you, but can you manage you in this world? If not, you get hurt. Right? So now, let me put the quorum to this discussion. What does it mean to manage oneself?
What does quorum mean first?
Quorum means to hold the conversation right. To manage oneself could be I'm denying my contradiction. Another part of managing oneself is I know my contradiction and I love it. Right? And I love it. And while I'm able to manage my contradiction, I might discover my singularity. Right? And I must be always in a place that I can change in a moment's notice. I am not rooted that I will not allow myself to accept the change I need to live out. The promise I want you to make, if you get married, have a job, anything, the day it's not, promise you'll walk away. Promise you won't stay there, manage it, and then hurt yourself. That you will be true to you. Sorry.
No.
Right?
Promise. Pinky promise.
Okay, go ahead.
Sasha said that if you make a pinky promise and you break it, God will poke you in the eye.
Okay.
So, pinky promise.
Okay.
No, but like, what about people, like on the flip side of it, right? What if there are things about yourself that you just have to accept, but you can't accept it, and so you reach out to be somebody that you not necessarily are?
Can't relate. Tell.
Not me. I'm not talking about myself. Just people that I've seen over the years. I know somebody who I just kind of feel like I know that this person is not so wild and all of that. They actually thought for a long time they had it figured out, just being themselves, taking it a bit slower. But now they want to be wild because they feel like I didn't even get to be wild. But as I'm watching them do it, I'm like, I don't know if this is you. What about on that end?
And maybe that's what they have to do to come back to say, maybe that's not me. We all go on this idea and I want to do this, and then you're going to wake up. Maybe you have to do it. So nothing is wrong in it as long as you don't hurt yourself. But you do anything, but just be honest when it flips. Don't get caught. What I see in people is they get an idea, they pretend a state of self, then they deny and repress everything. And then the whole life is about managing how the world sees them. By that, they lose being in touch with what is authentically here. I am saying at any moment you must have the freedom to wake up. Like the way Appa work, the day I don't want to, I get up and walk away. The day I don't want, I'm done. I'm out. But I hold myself or manage myself that I can do so. Like I always say, build a big door for people to come in. But I always say, build a bigger door for them to live quietly if this is not for them. Welcome, come, do this. If you want to learn, come on. But build a bigger door when they realize, maybe this is not for me, out.
So would you say like the process of life and the process of figuring out how to manage yourself is like trying
Yeah.
and seeing
How do you know? None of us are psychic. How do you know? And the person who says they know themselves are liars. They are liars. Yeah, I don't know what. This is a funny story. 20 years ago, if somebody said, I would like Western food, I would have shot them on the face.
I'll never forget, we went to an Italian restaurant and he ate a few bites and then he puked it out.
Yeah, I did. Now I want at least one meal to be a Western food. And I'm slowly leading towards it. Who the hell would have thought that is possible?
He had a spiritual awakening when he ate breakfast in Paris one day.
Yes, the jambon. And I went like, hallelujah. No,
He's
I'm wondering what more will I discover? What more will I wake up to? Isn't that the fun of living?
yeah.
You are on an exploration to find out. Life is like a tasting menu, you taste, 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 and then, oh my God, I like this. And somewhere there, in that contradiction, you will find you.
But it's also, I think that like it's hard because like you say like a tasting menu, right? But you might have like a favorite course that came before.
Yeah.
And you have to keep going.
Yeah, but then you can stop and just eat that again. Whose business is it? You see, the moment you're caught in the world, the moment you sell an image, the moment you say, I am only this, you are trapping you. You are holding you back. I would like you to hold yourself in a space that you live and explore and discover. And maybe in there you find the not to. And don't let the moralist and the worldly people con you only to be this. Now, have you seen it from the 1960s, I think, 50s? The amount of thing women have become. Oh my God. Before you're supposed to be in the kitchen. What? Wow. And do you know what is it? It's not only women discovering, men are discovering. Oh my God. They are as good as amazing. So what I'm trying to point at is there is a force in the world that want to unify you so they can manage you. They tell you what you should be. They will tell you shouldn't be gay, straight, whatever. They will tell you. And that is the way they oppress you. I am saying the human freedom is I can contradict myself. I can go this way and turn and say, nope, I want to go that way. And nope, I want to go that way. It's my freedom. So is managing oneself, is holding one's freedom rightly? Because the freedom comes with a cost. With freedom comes responsibility, right? So if I want to be free, I must manage my freedom, right? Does that make sense?
Definitely.
So what is the most important thing? I manage myself so I keep my freedom intact. Oh, I like that line. I manage myself so my freedom is intact. It's like this, it's difficult to say, but if you love somebody, you must have the freedom one day if you wake up and you say, no, I don't love you anymore, I'm sorry. Not that you're obligated to love. You follow what I'm saying? If you love somebody and one morning you get up and you say, no, I don't love anymore. And you don't have to explain. Maybe a little bit. But walk away. I want your freedom to be intact. If not, what happens is you are trapped to be something. Right?
Yeah.
You're trapped. Like this, women got freedom, because they can wear men's pants. I don't know whether man has freedom to wear women's
Slowly.
skirt. Not that I want to, but I'm saying.
Getting there.
I'm saying. No, but hang on. This is so important. As a father, as a man, as somebody who deals with the world and whatever I do, I think the most important thing I'm holding is your freedom. And first, your freedom is you are allowed to contradict yourself. You are allowed to be moody. You are allowed to be this. You are allowed to be that. You are allowed to go to gym 3 months and not go. It's all your freedom. But that freedom must come with responsibility. Maybe management is managing you so your freedom is intact. You are allowed to change your mind. And I think what happens to people now, by the time they reach late 20s, they get crystallized to a certain thing. And if they have friends and family, they never let you out,
Yeah, that's another thing as well. Like you are around people and you watch them change, and if you don't hold them tightly, you enjoy being lucky enough to have watched them change all these years. But if you hold them a little tightly, you can feel the resistance the minute you start to change.
Yeah, there we go.
And then I've even had a friend, like, through gossip, I knew this, that like they were like, I didn't understand Apshi's decision at first, but now I get it. And then in my mind, I was like, what is it yours to understand? Just
Very
let
good.
me be.
Very good. Wow. I think for me, from this discussion, everybody's freedom is the most important thing for me. It's important to me you are doing it willfully, wanting to, not prostituting yourself because somebody placed an idea onto you. So the first part, challenge, do, drop, eat 1 week, don't eat another week, don't care. It's just a protest. Next. In order to live that freedom, you must take responsibility. You have no obligation to live out the idea of anyone. You have no obligation. So what is managing oneself? To know there is two sides to you. Right? Two sides to you.
Maybe even 100 sides to you.
Very good. And we celebrate all of it without an idea. But I tell you, this is my insight. When you see the entire spectrum of your contradiction, the one that watches the contradiction is never two. Then you discover your one. The one that sees you being this and being that is the witness, and that's the one. The one that is hungry and the one that is not hungry, the one who loves food and disgusted with food, the one who's experiencing it is the same. So that in this duality, there's the third element. There is you as the witness. But we don't have to go into that subject. But what is the subject I'm saying? Well, you are free. Don't get people to trap you. Don't let yourself trap yourself. Go to London, study, you don't feel like it, try something else. But if the circumstance allow, if it doesn't, you manage.
Yeah.
You are free. If there are dads out there and moms out there and people who love anybody, what you want to do is hold the freedom of the people you love, right? And the freedom can be they even disagree with you. They
Yeah.
even contradict you. They even do things that you might not think is right. But
Is it like I might not always like you and agree with you, but I always love you and I always support you?
No, if you are held to change, you are held to be anything you need to be, how can that person not love the other person?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Good discussion, I think. Managing oneself.
Bye.
Bye.